Good day, YouTube. Today I'm doing just a bit of a RAM comparison and a bit of a look and feel video between MX Linux 21 on the left hand side versus Endeavour OS 22 or version 2022 on the right hand side there. So without further ado, let's open up the start menu for MX Linux here. We can see we're using the KDE Plasma desktop environment here with a whole bunch of apps and options here. So you've got your internet, your graphics apps, multimedia apps, office apps, system apps, the list goes on. And you are looking at the same basic thing, maybe a different package of apps, but the same basic stuff for Endeavour OS as well. So your internet apps, your graphics apps, multimedia apps, office apps, and the list goes on there as well. And you can download whatever's missing on either side too. Moving on, if we were to say have a look at the file managers for each of these ones here, on the left hand side we're using the Dolphin file manager, which is really the de facto standard for MX Linux 21's KDE Plasma desktop environment, whereas on the right hand side we are using the nice fairly lightweight Thunar file manager there. So basically they are a bit of a muchness. I just like to right click and open terminal, and away you go. Next up, let's have a bit of a look at the under the hood, see what's going on there. And here we go. So I'll just load up some commands here. I'll give this a bit of a shot. So great. So on the left hand side we are running on the 5.10 kernel. Okay, whereas on the right hand side we're running on the 5.15 kernel. Main reason for which is we are running on the sort of the bleeding edge of Linux, or for the most part, Arc. So we're running on Arc Linux as the backend for Endeavour, whereas the backend for MX Linux is it's actually Debian. So it's a older kernel, but it is set to be a lot more stable in comparison. Last but not least, take this next one with a bit of a grain of salt, but the RAM usage on boot up. So we're looking at about 640 megabytes of RAM on boot up for MX Linux there. On the right hand side we are looking at about 420 megabytes of RAM, so a good 220 megabytes of RAM less on boot up or so than we are using for MX Linux, because it is using what is expected to be more of a lightweight desktop environment, more of a simplified one. This is the XFCE desktop environment, so that's probably the reason for that. So thanks for watching, guys. Please leave a comment, subscribe, hit that like button, and I do hope to see all of you guys there in the next one.